Now, the Great Pyramid of Giza is probably the most stunning of all these ancient structures. The stones are immense, and some of them were cut from a quarry that's hundreds of miles away. How do you think they did that?
Well, some of them, the granite in the Great Pyramid comes from more than 500 miles to the south. If you look at the famous King's Chamber, its walls and the ceiling of the King's Chamber are all made with gigantic granite blocks.
Stunning detail.
Stunning detail. Those blocks weigh 70 tons each. I don't know how they did it. All I know is they did it. I don't think anybody knows how they did it. I think we're looking, again, at a lost technology. And it was this ancient apocalypse, 12,800 years ago, that wiped that from the human memory banks almost completely, not entirely completely because there were survivors, but removed most of it.
There are people out there now who have been working on trying to rediscover. There are people who've been working on these things for decades now, basically in secret. In secret. I've had the privilege of talking to some of these people over the last 6 or 7 years. And right now, as we're speaking, there's a group of people who are basically going to open source a whole lot of stuff in the next 3 months. There's a laboratory right now in the Maldives building prototypes using these technological principles.
Tesla's ideas are part of it, I think you mentioned.
Tesla's ideas are very much a part of it. Yes, Tesla's ideas are very much a part of it.
I think the key thing is we're looking at technologies that are not the same as ours.
Yes,
partly
that's the
why
point.
archaeologists can't see them, because they're looking for us in the past, and they're not open to the possibility that there are whole other kinds of technology that could be used.
Right.
I always go back to the ancient Egyptian traditions that speak of priests chanting as these huge blocks were lifted into the air. Were they using some kind of sound effect, some kind of use of sound that was able to manipulate matter? We know that sound can manipulate matter, as a matter of fact, but they're lifting these blocks. Again and again, it appears in ancient Egyptian traditions. The notion that we could lift huge blocks with sound seems absurd to archaeologists, and yet it's there in the traditions of the Egyptologists.
I think I understand it at this point. Resonance frequencies. Everything vibrates. That's the beginning of the concept because it's vibrating. Everything vibrates at a frequency, and if you know that frequency, you can control things. And I think that's the basic idea of what we're looking at here.
And so through this technology, they're able to move stones or cut stones or all the above?
All the above.
And even transport them?
Any book on Egyptology, the first thing you will find omitting is Ham. And that's odd because Egypt is called the land of Ham in antiquity. But you do not hear that mentioned in Egyptology. Why is that? Because if you mention that there was a Ham and this land of Egypt was called the land of Ham, then the pharaohs were black. It's because the black pastors did not take enough time to study scripture enough to find the line of Ham in the Bible. When you study the genealogical charts in the Bible from Ham, you can find exactly who was black. From the line of Ham to the line of Cush, Nimrod was the first king in human history, a black man. The first queen mentioned in Scripture was the queen of the Ethiopians, the queen of Sheba, queen of the south. She was a black woman. The first princess in Scripture was the princess that found Moses floating down the African river Nile. She was black.